Chapter: Can they change the world?
How is it, Anastasia, that when you talk about your forefathers, you always talk more about the mothers, the women, almost nothing about the men, your fathers, as if your fathers were insignificant in your family? Or do you, your genetic code or your ray, keep you from seeing and sensing your paternal forefathers? I even feel insulted for these men, your fathers.
I can sense and see the actions of my fathers who lived in the past as well as my mother's if I want. But I am far from being able to understand all of my father's actions and determine their significance for the present day, for all people, and for myself.
Tell me about just one of your fathers whose actions you can't completely understand. You're a woman. It's harder for you to understand men. It'll be easier for me. I'm a man. If I do understand, I'll be able to help you understand.
Yes, of course. I'll tell you about the father of mine who was able to learn how to produce living substances more powerful than all the weapons of the present day and future. Nothing man-made can withstand them. They are capable of changing the earthly world, destroying galaxies, or creating other worlds.
Great. Where is this thingamajig now?
Each earthly person is capable of producing it if he understands and feels. My father gave some of the secret to the Egyptian priest. Even today, earthly rulers govern their states according to the scheme, the mechanism of those priests. The purpose and process of governing is understood less and less. This mechanism has been degraded, not perfected over the centuries.
Wait. In your opinion, then, today's presidents govern countries according to the scheme or order of Egypt's ancient priest.
Since then, no one has brought anything substantive to the scheme of governance. Today, earthly states are unaware of the mechanism for governing the community of people.
It's just that it's hard to be convinced of this. Try to tell the whole story in order.
I will, and you try to understand. Tens of thousands of years ago, when the world did not yet know the greatness of Egypt, when no such state had yet existed, human society split into many tribes. A family, my forefather and foremother, lived apart from human society, according to their own laws. Everything surrounded them in their glade, as in the primary sources, as in paradise. My foremother was a beauty, and she had 2 sons. One shone, rousing everything in life with a ray of the sunrise. The second was her chosen one. She always rose first, bathed in the river, warmed herself with the light of sunrise, and herself gave everyone the light of joy and waited. She waited for him, her beloved, to awaken. He would wake up, and she would catch his first glance. When their eyes met, everything around them fell still. Admiringly, the space took in their love and awe, their bliss and delight. The day passed in joyous care for things. My father always watched thoughtfully as the sun dropped before sunset, and then he sang. She listened to his singing with secret delight. Back then, my foremother did not understand how words woven into song created a new, unusual image. She wanted to hear more about it more and more often, and as if sensing my foremother's wish, my father sang each time, drawing unusual images that became more and more vivid. Invisibly, the image came to live among them. Awakening one morning, my forefather did not meet the gaze of love as usual, but he was not surprised. He rose calmly and began to walk through the forest. He saw my quieted foremother in a secluded spot. She was standing alone, leaning against a cedar. My father took her, quiet, by the shoulders. She did not raise her moistened gaze to him. His fingers lightly touched the teardrop running down her cheek, and he gently said,
"I know, you were thinking about him, my beloved. You are thinking about him. This is not your fault. The image you have created is invisible to me, invisible but more beloved by you than I am. This is not your fault, my beloved. I'm leaving. Now I will join people. I've come to know how beautiful images are created. I will tell people about this. What I know, others will be able to learn, and the beautiful images will bring people to the primordial garden. There is nothing more powerful in the universe than the substances of living images. Even your love for me could be vanquished by an image I create. Now I will be able to create great images, and the images will serve people."
My foremother's shoulders shuddered, and her trembling voice whispered,
"What for? You, my beloved, have created the image I love. It is invisible. But the visible you is leaving me. Your child is already stirring inside me. What will I tell him about his father?
Beautiful images will create a world that is beautiful. Our growing son will picture his father's image. If I am worthy of the image pictured by my son, I will be able to become it. My son will know me. If I am unworthy of his picture, I will stay away, so as not to hinder his aspiration for what is beautiful, his dream.
Not understood by my foremother, he left. He went to join people. He went with his great discovery. He went for all his future sons and daughters, with the aspiration of creating a beautiful world for all.
Chapter: An unusual force.
In those times, the tribes living on Earth were fighting among themselves. Each strove to raise more warriors, and among the warriors, those who aspired to farming and poetry were considered ordinary. Each tribe had priests who tried to frighten people, but they did not have a clear goal. Frightening others served as consolation for them. Each gratified his own self-esteem by saying that he had received something greater than everyone else from God. My forefather was able to assemble the poets from several tribes, the priest. In all, there were 19 of them, 11 singer poets, 7 priests, and my forefather. They gathered in a secluded and uninhabited place. The singers sat modestly. The priests ensconced themselves separately, pompously. My forefathers said to them,
The enmity and wars among tribes can be stopped. The peoples will live in unity. In this state, the leader will be fair, and each family will be rid of the calamities of war. People will begin to help one another. The community of men will find the way to the primordial garden.
But the priest ridiculed my father at first.
Who would want to relinquish his power to someone else voluntarily? To collect all the tribes into one, someone has to be the most powerful and vanquish the others. But you want there not to be any war. Your words are naive. Why have you summoned us? You slow-witted wanderer.
The priest prepared to leave. My father stopped them with these words.
You are wise men, and we need your wisdom in order to create laws for human society. I can give each of you such power that no weapon created by human hand could withstand it. When you use it for good, for the goal, for the truth, for a happy sunrise, it will come to help everyone. When he who possesses it meanly desires to use it to conquer and subjugate, he himself will perish.
The prospect of unusual power stopped the priest. The eldest priest suggested the following to my father.
If you know of some unusual power, tell us about it. If it is effective and capable of building states, you will remain among us to live in that state. Together, we will create laws for human society.
This is why I came to you to tell you about the unusual power. But before I do, I ask you to name a ruler out of all those you know, one who is good and not greedy, who lives in love with his family and does not think of war.
An old priest answered my father that there was one ruler who avoided all battles. But his tribe was small. They did not strive to glorify their warriors, and for that reason few in it even aspired to become warriors. To avoid battles, they often had to change their encampment and live as nomads, to let others have the places fit for life, and themselves settle in places undesirable. Their leader's name was Egypt.
The state will be called Egypt. I will sing you 3 songs. Singer poets, sing these songs to people in your different tribes. Priests, settle among the people of Egypt. Families will come to you from different places. Greet them with your good laws.
My father sang the 3 songs to those gathered. In one, he created the image of a just ruler, calling him Egypt. Another was the image of a community of happy people living together. The third depicted a loving family, the happy children in it, the fathers and mothers, and all living in their unusual state. The 3 songs used ordinary words familiar to all, but from them, phrases were constructed so that those listening with bated breath heeded them. Also, the melody resounded through my father's voice. It summoned, beckoned, captivated, and created living images. The Egyptian state did not yet exist in reality. Its temples had yet to be built. But my father knew that it all would appear as a result of what man's thought and dream merging into one, summoned them too. He's saying inspiringly, knowing the unusual power that our great Creator had given for each one, my father saying, possessing the power that differentiates man from everything, that gives him authority over everything, that allows man to be called the Son of God and a Creator. Singer poets, burning with inspiration, sang these 3 songs in their different tribes. The beautiful images drew people, and people came to Egypt from various places. 5 years later, the Egyptian state emerged from this small tribe. All the other tribes, once considered more important than the others, simply fell apart. Their bellicose rulers could do nothing against this disintegration. Their authority weakened and vanished. Something had vanquished them, but it was not war. Accustomed to fighting in matter, they did not know that images were powerful overall, those images to the human soul's liking, those images that draw hearts. Troops armed with spears or any other weapon are powerless before an image, even just one, but a sincere one, unclouded by the mercantile postulate. They are overthrown. Troops are powerless against an image. The Egyptian state grew strong and large. Priests called its ruler Pharaoh. Priests secluded themselves in temples, away from human bustle, and created laws. And the ruler Pharaoh was obligated to follow them. Each ordinary inhabitant eagerly carried them out, and each strove to make his life the equal of the image. My father lived in the main temple, among the high priests. For 19 years the priest heeded him. They tried to learn the highest of all sciences, how great images are created. My father sincerely tried to tell them everything, burning with good intention. The priest learned the entire science or part of it. At any rate, now it is unclear and it makes no sense to try to clarify it. One day, 19 years later, the high priest gathered the priest closest to him. They solemnly entered the main temple, to which even the pharaoh did not have access. The high priest sat on the throne, above all the others. My smiling father sat among the priests. He became lost inside himself, in reverie, creating another song, drawing a new image in it, or perhaps fortifying an old one.
We have learned a great science. It will allow us to rule the whole world. But in order for our power to be eternal overall, not even a particle of knowledge may be allowed to pass outside these walls. We must create our own language, and we will communicate in it to one another, so that none of us can let the secret out even by accident. Through the ages, we will send many treaties in different languages to the people. Let them all be amazed and think we are setting all this forth. We will set forth many wondrous sciences and different discoveries, so that the common people and rulers move further and further away from the main thing. In coming ages, let the wise men amaze with their wise treaties and other sciences. In so doing, while moving away from the main thing ourselves, we will lead others further from the main thing as well. So be it.
All the others agreed with the high priest. My father alone was silent.
There is one other question we must decide without delay. In 19 years of study, we have learned how images are created. Any one of us now is capable of creating an image that could change the world, destroy or strengthen a state, and still the mystery remains. Can any of you tell me why the image each creates is different, and why we create like this for so long over time?
The priests were silent. No one knew the answer. The high priest continued, raising his voice slightly. The staff in his hand shook from tension when he said to everyone,
Meanwhile, among us, one is capable of creating images swiftly, and their power remains unsurpassed. He has been teaching us all for 19 years, but something remains unsaid. All of us must understand that we are not equal among ourselves. The rank each of us possesses does not matter. Let each know that among us one can rule invisibly over all, secretly. He is at liberty by the power of the image he can create to exalt or kill each one. One is capable of deciding the fate of states. I, the high priest, with the power given me, can change the balance of powers. The doors of the temple in which we are now sitting are closed. Outside, my loyal guard will not open the door to anyone without my say.
The high priest rose from the throne, and stepping slowly and pounding his staff over the stone slabs, started toward my father. Suddenly he stopped in the middle of the hall, and looking at my father said,
Now you will choose one of two paths. Here is the first. Right now, you will reveal to all the secret of the power of your images. You will tell us how and with what they are created, and you will be declared second priest after me, and become the first when I leave. All those living will bow down before you. But if you do not reveal to us your secret, the second path will be presented to you. It leads only to this door.
The priest pointed to the door leading from the temple sanctuary to a tower that had neither windows nor other outside doors. This tall tower with smooth walls had a platform on top, and from it, once a year on a specific day, my father or some other priest sang before the gathered people. The high priest, pointing out the door to my father, added,
If you go through this door, you will never come out of it. I will give orders to seal the door, except for a small window, through which you will receive minimal food every day. When the time comes and people gather by the tower, you will go out to them on the high platform. You will go out, only you will not sing, creating images. You may only greet the people in words. If you dare sing a creating song, even one, you will not receive food or water for 3 days. For 6 days no food or water will you receive, and you will be choosing your own death. Decide which of the 2 paths you yourself will choose.
My father rose calmly from his seat. His face held neither fear nor reproach, merely a sadness that lay there lightly, like crow's feet. He passed down the row of sitting priests and looked into the eyes of each one. In each pair of eyes, he saw the thirst for knowledge. There was a thirst for knowledge, but also greed in each pair of eyes. My father walked right up to the high priest and looked into his eyes. The grey-haired priest did not turn his stern eyes, burning with greed, away but struck his staff, and repeatedly into my father's face, spraying spittle.
Decide quickly which of the 2 paths to the future you choose.
Without fear in his voice, my father answered him calmly.
By the well of fate, perhaps I choose 1.5 paths.
How can you choose 1.5? You dare mock me and everyone who is in the great temple now.
My father walked to the door leading to the tower, turned and answered.
Believe me, I had no thought to laugh at you and cause insult. By your will, I go to the tower forever. Before leaving, I will reveal the secret to everyone as best I can, and I know my answer will not bring me the second path. This is why it turns out that I have chosen 1.5 paths.
Then speak, do not delay.
The voices were heard of the priests, who had jumped up from their seats under the vaults.
Where is the secret?
It is in the egg.
Came the calm reply.
The egg? What egg? What are you talking about? Explain yourself.
Those gathered questioned my father, and he gave those gathered his answer.
The egg from a chicken grows into a chicken. The egg from a duck grows into a duck. The egg from an eagle brings the world an eagle. Whatever you feel yourself to be, that is what will be born of you.
Feel it? I'm a creator. Tell us, how does one create the most powerful image of all?
You did not tell the truth. You yourself do not believe what you are saying.
How do you know how much strength there is in my belief?
A creator would never ask for an answer. A creator is capable of supplying it himself. You are asking, and this means you are in the shell of unbelief.
My father left, the door shut behind him, and they sealed the entrance, following the high priest order. Once a day, they put food through the small opening for my father. Food was meager, and they did not always give him enough water. For 3 days before the people were supposed to gather in front of the tower to hear the new songs and tales, they did not give my father any food, they gave him only water. So ordered the high priest, having changed his original order. He ordered this so my father would weaken and not sing a new creating song to those gathered. When many people had gathered before the tower, my father came out on the tower's platform to the people. He looked gaily at the waiting crowd. He did not say a word to people about his own fate. He simply began to sing. The song poured out in a voice of rejoicing, and an unusual image was created. The people gathered there heeded him. My father completed his song, and immediately began a new one. The singer standing above sang for a whole day. As sunset neared, he told everyone,
"With the new dawn you will hear new songs."
For a second day my father sang to the gathering. The people did not know that the singer, living in his dungeon, was no longer being given water by the priest.
Listening to Anastasia's story about her distant forefather, I felt like hearing at least one of the songs he sang, so I asked, Anastasia, if you can produce entire scenes from the life of your forefathers in such detail, then does this mean you might sing a song your forefather sang to the people from the tower?
I myself hear all these songs, but an authentic translation of them is impossible. We lack many words. Also, many words now have a different meaning. In addition, the rhythm of the poetry heard then is hard to create in present-day language.
That's too bad. I would have liked to hear these songs.
Vladimir, you will. They will be resurrected.
What do you mean resurrected? You're always saying translation is impossible.
Authentic translation is impossible, but new ones can be created that are the same in spirit and meaning. Bards are creating them right now, using words familiar to all today. 1. The last one my father sang then, you have already heard.
I have? Where? When?
The bard from Yegoriyevsk sent it to you.
He's sent a lot.
Yes, he has, and among them one very much resembles that last one.
How could such a thing have happened?
There is a continuity among times.
What kind of song is this? What words are in it?
You'll understand very soon. I will tell you everything in order.
End of chapter. Join us for the next segment of Co-Creation, Book 4 of the Ringing Cedar series, When the Fathers Understand.